Yeah.
Hey yo, man, it's your time. Man, fuck poverty. Get this money, man. What the fuck you gotta do, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you're mad at me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil.
and I'm Leroy. So, what's going on, Phil?
Chilling, watching a lot of B movies.
Did you finish them?
Oh well, I just watched one. I don't know what it was called. It was like Death. I lived after I death or something crazy like that. They got the girl in it. What's the girl that was married to the preacher and then broke up with him?
Our girl, our queen there. I know who you talking about.
Yeah, she was like the star of the movie.
You know, the one that's in the Star of Harlem. Yeah, I forget her name.
The star of Harlem.
Yeah, it's Harlem. It's just I never watched it. It's a show called Harlem. They say it's like the Black Sex in the City,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like the star of it.
Yeah, it was about her and an abusive husband, and she turned it on him and made him think he was seeing ghosts, and she faked her death and all this stuff.
Is it weird how it sounds? Is the movie weird how you just described it?
Well, he's a doctor. I guess he's super rich. They got a kid together, but he's kicking her ass, whatever. You know what I mean? Threatening to kill her. Then he pays a hitman to kill her. The hitman comes out over the crib to kill her. Sees blood everywhere, so he thinks she's dead. But the hitman don't say nothing. He like, yeah, it's done. He go get the money. So she's still alive, but she letting everybody think she did, and then she just haunting him with sending them text messages or leaving something around the house and making reservations at restaurants. And he's like, yeah, your wife made the reservation, so he thinking she dead. The cops showed them pictures somebody sent the cops of her body or whatever, so she's all laid out faking like she did and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
is a little bullshit movie.
Is the husband white?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's like an African doctor or something.
All right. Yeah.
Why? You know how she get down?
No, because the movie just sounded weird. It didn't sound like a black movie. It doesn't. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't sound like a movie that women will watch.
Oh.
Well, Phil, let's go to oh boy, I'm a butcher this name, so forgive me. Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico. I know. Yeah. Do you know how to pronounce it?
Maybe if I see it, I don't know.
Matamoros.
Hold on. Let's see. Matros.
No, Matamoros.
Matamos.
Yes.
Mamarosa's.
I guess that will be the city. Now the state is Tamaulipas.
Yeah, but go into the story.
Well, it's in Mexico. We're friends, quote unquote friends. Latavia Tay McGee, Shaheed Warder, Zendel Brown, and Eric James Williams were violently abducted at gunpoint in broad daylight, where McGee was going to get a quote unquote tummy tuck. McGee and Williams were found alive in a dingy shack on Tuesday, but Warder and Brown were killed during the ordeal. Here's the video. Here's the first video where, they're describing like what happened and everything.
Americans kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico at gunpoint last
Matamoros.
week. Mexican authorities saying 2 of the victims were found dead, their bodies for now held at a morgue there. The State Department announcing the 2 surviving Americans are already back in the U.S. This video appearing to show the group as they were being kidnapped by heavily armed men and thrown into the back of a pickup truck. The 4 Americans have been identified as Shaheed Woodward, Latavia Tay McGee, Zindel Brown, and Eric Williams. McGee's mother, who previously said her daughter went to Mexico for a cosmetic medical procedure, telling ABC News in a phone call that the FBI informed her her daughter is one of the survivors.
I had to hold my heart. I said, I'm so appreciated. I was thanking the Lord. I said, thank you, Jesus, there's a God.
Michelle Williams confirms to ABC that her husband Eric is the other survivor. Mexican officials say he was found suffering from a gunshot wound to the leg. U.S. officials say gunmen began.
Now, here's a question. What man that have a wife and kids at home is going to go to Mexico? They drove down to Mexico from South Carolina. They drove down to Mexico just so he can wait. Is he going to guard her where she's getting a tummy tuck or watch
Yeah,
over?
we all know that's some bullshit.
See, I think what the internet was saying, they was trying to get some coke and all that stuff. See, I don't see those Mexican guys dealing with black people like that in terms of drugs. They would.
Yes.
See, I'm thinking that well, what they say in Mexico, like those the drugstores there, you can get like Oxycontin and all that stuff over the counter. So I was thinking if they was good, they was going
You
to
probably
store.
could, but you would need to connect somebody that's gonna interpret the language if they're not speaking English. You know what I mean?
Your phone.
It's probably ducky spots. You probably can get it in the store, but it's probably ducky spots, not wide open like that. I mean, They still got law and cops.
Cause back in the day, that's how like guys would get steroids. I guess that live on that side, that side of
Right. So I think it's one of them things where the law and the cops, they turn a blind eye to it, like they know what's going on as long as it ain't blatant in their face.
Right.
So probably like even with the steroids, they probably could just go in the pharmacy and say, "Yo, I need blankety blank. It's not on the shelf," and then they check you out, make sure you legit. Then they take you to the back and show you what you need. Remember back in the day when I don't know if you used to go, but I used to hang out in North Philly with the Puerto Ricans, and they used to take me to like a regular house, and then when you go in the front door, it's like a bar. And they got liquor and shit and all types of stuff in there. Well, it's kind of the same thing. If you know, or you with somebody that know. But if you don't know, you can't just go down there fishing around and trying to find a spot. You know what I mean?
Right. So you think those guys had a Mexican connect?
I think they was down there trying to find somebody that they can get the shit from. Like that's why supposedly they got lost. They wasn't lost. They was down there axing around and shit probably.
Right.
And then somebody fucking got on their ass, and then they haul ass and got lit up.
Shooting at the group's minivan, which had North Carolina plates, then kidnapped the people inside. One Mexican bystander was also killed. This part of Mexico is a place Americans are warned not to travel to.
This is considered by the State Department a level 4, which says that's what Afghanistan is a level 4.
Damn.
That these are not places that any American should be going.
This incident highlighting the drug-related violence occurring south of the border among Mexican cartels.
The DEA and the FBI are doing everything possible to dismantle and disrupt.
Now, did they ever ask the young lady that where's the place where she was going to get cosmetic surgery? Or was she gonna say that? Oh well, we were going to another whole place, but we got lost or some shit.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying they got lost, but they didn't get lost. They was getting chased, and then they got shot up. That's how they got shot. They didn't get like shot outside the car. They got shot up because the car got lit up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And supposedly they got lost, but then the story came out that I guess law enforcement can't confirm that they even had an appointment down there to begin with. So it's all bullshit.
Exactly.
And ultimately prosecute the leaders of the cartels.
Mexican authorities say at least one person has been arrested in connection to the kidnapping, adding the bodies of the 2 killed Americans will be transferred to the U.S. later today. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
We turn now to the stunning image south of the border.
Well, go ahead. What was you about to say?
No, I was just going to add that something I was watching this morning. I don't know if it was the mom or somebody where they said she did this was her second operation and she did get the BBL before from down there. But they said out of all of them, all 4 of them, nobody had jobs.
Right.
So if you ain't got no jobs, you already know. And did you hear that her kids got taken from her because like 5 of the kids they found like drug residue in their hair?
Yes.
So what the hell is this, like a fucking coke house and shit that the kids living in?
She has all of them got criminal background, criminal
Drug offenses.
and it's all drug offenses, just like Phil said. And well, she, like you said about her, she got her kids taken away, 6 of them taken away. She's got 6 kids, and she's worried about her ass. And the thing about it, well, okay, she was in distress, I give you that, but she had such a shitty shape.
Right. And I said the same thing. I said that picture that they keep showing us is not the same picture of her, because when they show her, that's a totally different looking lady. Now I don't know if it's filters or that picture was from 10 years ago, but show the picture that when they found her, that's not the same lady.
Right. Well, the next report is for the Mexican cartel takes responsibility for the kidnapping. Here's the report.
Out of the stunning image south of the border in Mexico today, and it comes, of course, after those 4 Americans were kidnapped, 2 of them shot and killed. Well, today, 5 alleged members of a notorious cartel tied up and left in public right at the scene of the kidnapping for all to see. And authorities believe it was the cartel itself handing over those 5 suspects.
Yeah, the block is hot. They don't want no problems.
But the thing is, those guys, 2 of those guys in the video was smiling while they was being arrested. So they're not being turned over to the United States. They're going right back into, you know what I mean, this system. So they're going to be free in no time. They ain't worried about it.
Exactly. Or they could be in the Mexican jail where they be the man anyway. You probably get everything
they're not going to jail. The bottom line is when you cross the border, them little cities right there where the border is at, that's where the tunnel's at. That's where the cartel's at. That's where all the OK Corral, everybody got guns and doing what the fuck they want. You go to Mexico, you better catch a plane and go to the back end where the resorts is at, not the front end where the border is at. Because if you're there, you asking for trouble.
Left on the windshield, the cartel apologizing for the deadly attack on Americans. And late today, the bodies of those 2 Americans who died in the attack arriving back in the United States. ABC's Matt Rivers in Mexico City again tonight.
Tonight, nearly a week after that horrific kidnapping of 4 Americans that left 2 of them dead in a Mexican border city, a notorious drug cartel is allegedly taking responsibility. In these photos from a source close to the investigation, the Gulf Cartel appearing to hand over the 5 members they say did it. The 5 men found tied up near a truck with guns, ammunition, and body armor at the same spot in Matamoros where the kidnapping took place. Plus a note.
So they turned them in with the weapons, the
It's
bulletproof
all, it's all bullshit. Now, you know,
right.
Mexican cops is the corruptest cops. They did this for show.
Exactly.
You know what they're doing? They're trying to show. They're trying to show the world, not really the world, but mostly American, because we don't want to spend most of our money in Mexico as a resort. So they're trying to show that, hey, we court these bad guys. We ain't tolerating this. It ain't dangerous. Come on down here and spend your money. Because I read somewhere that they were saying that the cartels got a hand in most of the resorts. So they're getting a kickback. So they don't want nothing to happen to the tourists and stuff.
Right. Yeah, the block is hot. So they said, well, look, we'll just put on this show. And,
on the windshield, purportedly signed by the cartel, references, quote, 4 kidnapped Americans, 2 of which
sincerely the cartel.
Right.
died. Adding, quote, we have decided to deliver those.
Is this letter in English or Spanish? I would love to know this letter.
English. Why is it all blurred out anyway? Let us see what it says. Let us interpret it ourselves.
Exactly.
Involved and directly responsible. The 5 men now in state police custody. Authorities not confirming whether these 5 were involved, but multiple Mexican law enforcement sources close to the investigation tell ABC News the cartel note is believed to be legitimate. Neither ABC News nor U.S. officials have been able to verify the note's authenticity.
I think they're doing it to take heat off of themselves. I do
Bingo, we already said it. We already said that, sir.
think this was their intent, was to sort of ease the pain as far as what pressure may be placed on the cartel as time goes on.
Well, that was really something to say to witness.
Sorry about that.
No question, and the Gulf Cartel is among the most powerful criminal organizations in the entire country. And if they did it, in fact, turn over some of their own, knowing they would be detained by police, not worried about what those suspects would then say during interrogation. David, I think it says a lot about this group's power, both in Matamoros and beyond.
Well, you would know Matt Rivers, who has reported from Mexico for years. Matt, thank you.
The next
did you
video.
hear?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was also watching this thing last night. They were saying that United States and then it was another country. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Canada somewhere. They wanted to send like special forces down there. It was the United States and another country spent to destroy all the cartel. And then the Mexican government and the president was like, no, y'all can't send no armies down here. You know what I mean? That lets you know right there they in cahoots. If they wanted to squash all that bullshit, they could. The Mexican cartels running shit, and those cops are shady as shit. And they did all this show for the camera, and they're gonna untie those guys. And those guys are gonna go back to where they came from.
Right. Like, we're sorry this happened. Sincerely, with our deepest regrets, the cartel. Well, here's an interview from Tay McGee's mom, Latavia Tay McGee's mom, and 3 of her children. The oldest looks like she's about maybe like 14, 15, and 2 younger kids. They probably like what 7, 8, 9, around that age. And her mom.
2 Americans returning to the U.S. from Mexico.
And I was shocked to see this because I thought Don Lemon with all that. I didn't know what was going on, but they always talking about he must have like did he holler at a lady or something? And I was like, whoa, he's still on the air? The way they was talking, I thought they kicked him off. I don't know. I don't know all the details. I know they said that he must have said something to some lady and the lady didn't like it. This was on air. And they was thinking about moving him or getting rid of him or something like that. Well, the only time every time I see Don Lemon, I always think about, remember when he got a racial profile at Tower Records?
No.
Well, he used to work here, and he went to Tower Records on Broad Street. Well, it used to be on Broad Street, and I guess he bought whatever he wanted to buy. And the guy wanted to look at his bag, and you know how like they had them undercover security guards. He never said, look, I'm a cop. Let me see what's in the bag. I guess my man just like grabbed the bag and wanted to look at it, and so they got in a tussling about the bag.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Oh, this was years ago. This is like 20-something years ago.
Oh shit.
After their group was kidnapped last Friday, they had traveled there so that Latavia Washington McGee could undergo a medical procedure. Now, McGee is back in Texas this morning.
A medical procedure? Come on, man.
Right. And other reports were saying they went down there for medication.
What kind of medication?
They just said medication. It's all bullshit.
So they traveled all the way down to South Carolina, so they had to go all through Texas to get to Mexico.
That's a long ass trek they did. They went down there for drugs, not medication, fucking illegal street drugs.
Right.
And maybe she said, well, since I'm down here, maybe I'll get this tummy tuck too while I'm down here. But that wasn't the main reason she was down there.
Yeah, what man got a wife and kid at home is going to go down to Florida, go down to Mexico with her just so she can get her tummy tucked? What's in it for me? What's in it for me?
They went damn near across the country.
Yep. What's in it for me is either that coke, that weed, or them pills, one or the other.
You got money to get a tummy tuck, and you got money to get a plane ticket, and you should have flew in and flew out.
Right. And all these websites and all that stuff, you can wheel and deal and find the cheapest flight. You might have to lay over for a couple of hours or so in one place, but if you was really thinking about being budgeting.
Eric Williams was shot 3 times in the leg. The 2 others who were kidnapped, Shaheed Woodard, and Zindell Brown, were sadly killed. I want to bring in now Barbara McLeod Burgess. She is Latavia Washington McGee's mother. Also with us is Amani Washington, Latavia's 13-year-old daughter.
Okay, the girl's
along
13.
with Latavia's sons, Cadence McGee and Junior. They are joining us for their first live interview. And I'm happy that you guys are here to bring light.
I can see the 13-year-old, but why the other 2 little kids on here?
To this, I'm sorry about what happened. Barbara, good morning to you and everyone. Have you spoken to Latavia? And if so, how is she doing?
Good morning. She was doing okay. I talked to her last night.
What'd you guys talk about?
And I asked how she was doing.
Don Lemon, what else would you think she's gonna ask her?
He was telling me that how they was hostile and how they had it in that little place and it was stank with the her brother in there and all of them was hostile in a little thing together. And they were moving them from place to place.
Did she understand? Did they understand what was happening to them at the time?
Oh, they understood.
No, because she said when they was, had drove, they was going through and a van, they was driving through and a van came up and hit them and that's when they started shooting at the car.
What happened before that, ma'am?
Shooting inside the van or whatever and I guess she said the other rest tried to run and they got shot at the same time. Yeah. Shahid and Zell and Eve, they all got shot at the same time. And she watched them die.
And you helped to raise Shahid, right, who died. Can you tell us about him?
Yes. His mother had passed away when he was like 15, and I had him ever since then. And Latavia, he was in the house, and so she checked him as his brother, her brother, which is her cousin. But it's her brother, and her cousin is my nephew and my son. And he was a good person. Mm-hmm. And you know, I miss him. I love him, and nothing I wouldn't do for him.
Were you watching? Did you see the video on the news?
Yes.
And what was going through your head when you saw it?
Another stupid ass question, Mr. Lemon. This is the only reason why I'm playing it because I'm like, well, damn, he's asking her like the dumbest questions. What do you think she was thinking?
What? A lot of bad stuff. Bad stuff.
It almost looked like even the young daughter wanted to laugh at that one.
Amani?
When they throw my daughter on that church, that's for.
Go on, Barbara. Sorry, you were saying what?
No, sir. Especially when I saw them throw my daughter up on that truck and shade on it, they just grab them and throw them up on like trash. They throw them on the trucks, and I didn't like it, and I wanted to get to her.
Amani,
get over there to her.
Amani, you saw it. You must have been worried about your mom. What were you thinking?
What do you think she was thinking, man?
I was just thinking, like, why did they get kidnapped and stuff like that?
You too young to understand.
Do either of you know about what happened and why? Because they believe at this point that is a case of mistaken identity. Have they told you?
All right, Phil. Do you think it's a case of mistaken identity?
No.
Anything beyond that? Have you spoken to authorities at all, Barbara?
About the kidnapping?
Yes, ma'am.
I talked to someone that was asking me a question about when it first, I guess after day 2 after it happened, and he was asking me something about it, and I told him, he was asking me a question about Latavia and that she was in danger.
Now, is this person the FBI?
She was in danger?
Yeah.
I think it was a drug war going on, and they got in the middle of it. I don't think there was no mistaken identity or nothing like that. I think they went down there for drugs in the middle of some shit was already going on.
What are you hoping comes out of this? I know no one can bring your loved ones back, but what are you hoping happens from here, Barbara?
I hope they get all of them and put them all in jail. The one that did it.
Good luck with that.
So I guess they took all their money because I know she had a lot of bread with her.
Uh-huh. See, they ain't getting that.
Right, exactly. They don't want to.
Right.
That wasn't for no tummy tuck.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, even if she was going down there to get a tummy tuck, she had to have some type of money on her. But they ain't mentioning anything about no money. You right.
Mm-hmm. Put all of them, every one of them that has something to do with it, I want them locked up.
Amani, have you had a chance to speak to your mom?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
All I did was say hey and told her that I missed her, and I was ready
Why
for
you
her
gonna
to
make
come
that
home.
kid sit there?
Right. You, obviously, the two little ones don't even want to be on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, I can't begin to imagine when families go through situations like this and your whole life is sort of put on display in front of everyone. I know that that is disconcerting, but to have someone die and then get on television and talk about it, at least members of your family, your mom and your daughter didn't die, but it's got to be tough for you. Can you explain, Barbara, what your family is going through at this moment?
All I know is I know that this hurt, and that's all. This hurt because of what happened to Shaheed, and which he died, and
don't the mom look like she just got finished smoking some weed before she
Yeah,
sat down for the?
when I saw her, I thought of Tupac mom.
Yeah, she does kind of have that look. You're right. Right. It's like them eyes. It's like she can't like open up her eyes all the way.
Whole bunch of weed smoking going on.
when they had kidnapped them. So I know this all hurt about everything.
This is, Barbara, I understand the second time that your daughter went down to the area in Mexico for a medical procedure.
She plastic surgery, man. Ain't no damn medical procedure.
Did she at any point before say that she felt unsafe?
A medical procedure to me sounds like something like you really need. It may be life and death, or may can like better your life or whatever. A tummy tuck and an ass shot is not going to better your life or save your life in any way. So you had plastic surgery. It wasn't no medical procedure.
Safe about it?
That's the news trying
They're trying to soften the blow.
Exactly. That's just about to say they trying to cute everything up.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't tell me nothing about it. She didn't.
So what? She didn't tell her that she was going to Mexico?
She don't want to say what it is. That's what it is. She don't want to jam herself up or make her daughter look bad. So she told her she was going to Mexico. She didn't tell her she was going to get a tummy tuck. That's what it is.
Listen, the CDC is warning against medical procedures outside of the country. They are calling it a level 4 warning, the State Department is. Do you have a message for other people who may be considering the same thing, Barbara?
No. I just wish that I know that for the family member that was like the other family, I would know that is hurt and feeling sad and stuff about it.
Man, leave this lady alone.
Uh-huh.
And some of the people out in America, they probably do too.
How are you guys? Are you guys going to go are you going to Texas, or how are you going to do it? Is she going to come home, Latavia? Are you going to go see her, or is she just wait until she comes home?
We can wait until she come home.
Yeah, why would they go to Texas for? She's not in the hospital or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess he figured they're going to go down there for the funeral. I bet you they got a big old GoFundMe, don't they?
Probably do.
She's supposed to come home today.
Yeah. Monty, anything you want to say before I let you guys go? Because I can see that that JR and Cadence are getting restless.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is that thank you for helping find my mama, and that's it.
Yeah. I should say Junior. So thank you so much for joining us, Barbara. Thank you, Amani. Thank you, Cadence. Thank you, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
You guys be as well as you
welcome.
can under these circumstances.
Say you're welcome.
So you're welcome. Look, so you're welcome.
For joining.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, shout out to Don Lemon with them shitty ass questions to ask.
He was on some bullshit.
Right. Boy, he supposed to be like the top guy on CNN. If he asking questions like that, we in trouble. Well, we going to Chicago, Illinois, where a pregnant woman, 21-year-old Genesis Escobar, was shot and killed by a team of drug dealers she was trying to rob. Here's the report.
And thank you. Now to a breaking news update. Police are looking for the shooter who killed a pregnant woman and then left her body in the middle of the street.
And now Chicago police are telling us that pregnant woman was allegedly trying to rob a driver when she
I'm gonna say shout out to this news reporter here too. I don't know her name.
She was shot. Just disturbing details in this story as it unfolds. CBS News' Sal Rizai live at the 25th District Police Station with more about what happened here.
Yeah, good morning.
I want to make a joke here from the reporter in the studio to the field reporter, but I'll let that slide.
Guys, very unusual and devastating circumstances surrounding this shooting. Police say that the shooter took off, leaving hundreds of dollars in cash on that victim's body. The victim, 21-year-old and 7 months pregnant, was shot multiple times after getting into a car, and police saying demanding money. We're told shots were fired both from outside of the car and from people inside of the car. In this video, you can see a big crime scene. This is near Laramie and Montana around 1 o'clock yesterday. Family and friends identifying her as 21-year-old Genesis Escobar. The shooting apparently happened near a family friend's home. They tell us they found Escobar shot in the street after hearing at least 4 gunshots.
They threw a bunch of money on top of her.
What does that represent in your opinion?
I don't know if she was into some kind of trouble.
Oh, you know. What was you about to say?
Nah, I just laughed.
Now, we do know the shooter took off in an unknown car. The woman and her unborn baby, unfortunately, died at the hospital. Right now, police say they are investigating, and no one is in custody. I'm reporting from the 25th District Police Station. Sal Rizai, CBS 2 News.
Well, the story is totally different. That's again, the news is trying to cute everything up. Well, according to the Sun-Times, the woman identified by the family as 21-year-old Genesis Escobar had orchestrated the heist with her boyfriend, a law enforcement source told the Chicago Sun-Times. Escobar climbed into the car parked in the city's Belmont, Cargan neighborhood around 1 p.m. when her attendant victims shot her in the shoulder, back, and hand, police confirmed. The killers then threw her body onto the street and dumped a pile of cash on top of Escobar before speeding off, witness reported.
Are they killers or are they self-defenders?
Nay. Well, see, the thing is, they probably don't have illegal weapons. That will probably will hurt them.
Well, it probably was illegal activity all the way around. Either
Right.
she was selling drugs or she was selling ass. But it was a setup.
Escobar, unnamed boyfriend, who has been stationed outside the car during the shooting, allegedly grabbed some of the cash and fled, leaving leaving the gasping, expectant mother on the ground, the source revealed. Escobar was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Escobar's baby daughter, expected to be born in 2 months, was also killed during the shooting. Escobar had been arrested several times in recent years, was on probation for a misdemeanor battery conviction, and was under indictment on a felony count of possession of a stolen motor vehicle, court records obtained by the Sun-Times show. So she was out there thugging, and like you said, it's either like they was like planning to like buy some drugs or something like that, and the people had the drugs and she tried to rob them and they shot her, or it had to be something with some sex or whatever. And I'm thinking it has to be something with sex because the boyfriend sounds like a pimp. Now she out there robbing.
Why is she hiding? Why she do the transaction?
Right, he's standing on the sideline. Wait,
She probably was selling ass, but it was a setup because she ain't had no plans on really selling it. Just lure my man in, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then rob him.
Right. So the lady that spoke, I think her name was Irish. She was Escobar was friends with her daughter. So so the lady trying to act like she didn't know what was going on. So I'm pretty sure if birds of a feather flock together, if Genesis is into something, then her daughter is into something too. That was probably their thing they did together, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Either selling ass or setting up people to rob, whatever. See, I think it's something to do with sex and not drugs.
Mm-hmm. Listening to Cardi B.
Let's just like the drug deal don't even make no sense. So you get your girl to do a transaction. She's 7 months pregnant while you sitting on the sideline hiding in the bushes or something.
Mm-hmm.
That don't even sound right.
Right. And if it was just a drug transaction, he'd have been over there to make the deal with her.
Exactly.
You got to make it seem like she's by herself, like she's down and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bad story all around for the baby to lose their life like that.
A young, pretty girl want to be thugging in them streets, and this is the game how it played out.
Yep. Well, we going to Roman Forest, Texas. Our girl right here, 31-year-old Raven Yates Montgomery.
Can you get
I'm
the gray
sorry,
off the screen?
the
I want to
gray.
see the. Yeah, you got 2 great boxes covering.
Oh, because I'm reading from the note.
I like to
What
see
you
that
want to see that
stupid
little
face.
that grin? Do you see the grin now?
Yeah, there you go.
31-year-old Raven Yates, a Montgomery County mother, accused of abandoning her 2 young children, a 12-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son, alone for nearly 2 months to stay with a man in Mobile, Alabama. Yates' other children she had was with relatives. So she has other kids. The other kids are staying with relatives. Now she got the 12-year-old in the house with a 3-year-old alone for 2 months while she go and get a freak on in Mobile, Alabama.
2 months. And all them kids got in the house is beans, and it was something else.
Well, here's the report.
This Montgomery County mother accused of abandoning her 2 children was all smiles when she was arrested.
Look at that $1 million smile. Yeah, go ahead, girl. Looking cute.
Yeah, okay.
3 states away.
Yeah, kind of a bizarre photo there. Well, officers found
No, it ain't bizarre. It's sexy.
Raven Yates in Alabama more than 2 months after she vanished.
ABC 13's Brianna Connor is getting new facts on her arrest. And Brianna.
And shout out to this reporter, too. Well, both of them aren't bad looking.
What's next for this woman?
Raven Yates still needs to be processed in Mobile, Alabama, before she's brought back here to Montgomery County to face the charges against her. Detectives working this case had been looking for Yates for about 3 months. I'm told law enforcement in Mobile had to break down the bedroom door of an older man's apartment to find her.
So sugar daddy had her up there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The popularity of it got a lot of people interested in it.
Raven Yates gained thousands of followers and has been trending on social media ever since she made headlines for accusations of abandonment. Roman Forest police say she...
Notice that every time when we hear stories like this, the people always live in these nice houses.
These big ass houses. Like,
Right.
this house. Live in large. Look at that double driveway.
Exactly.
Double garage.
Exactly. And there's always like these nice houses. Maybe that's how it is in the South. Like everybody, the neighborhood might be, you know, not good. I don't know what you want to call it, but like everybody has a nice house like this. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a big ass house.
Left her 12-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son all alone for 2 months. Investigators say they had to fend for themselves with little food or medicine at this house on Maplewood Ridge Drive while Yates lived in Alabama.
I've never seen anything like that, and I've never seen anybody play into the camera and play into the social media as she has.
The entire time, Yates was posting provocative images like these online while fully...
I believe she also was selling ass too.
She looked like a prostitute right there.
Yep.
aware there was a warrant out for...
Look at these pictures. What kind of pictures are these?
Mm-hmm. And she don't,
For her arrest.
none of these pictures look like the girl that's getting arrested.
Right.
Well, I tell you, they do wonders with this makeup and stuff.
Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says tips poured in from the public, and that's what eventually led to her arrest in Mobile. This photo capturing...
Go sexy thing there. Boy, that's a sexy woman.
Yates in cuffs.
And what happened to her green contact lenses? Why she don't have them in?
And seemingly unbothered by the allegations that she put her own children in danger.
I think was playing for the camera. She wanted to have a smile. She wanted to look good.
Yates' 12-year-old is with her father, who lives out of state. Police say the child was afraid to tell her dad what was happening at first because she was worried she'd be separated from her brother, who has a different dad. At last check.
Shout out to the young lady who was worried about breaking up with her 3-year-old brother.
But where's the dads? How's the kids in this house for 2 months and neither dad stopped past to see their kid or pick them up or anything? Call them on the phone?
Right. Well, the 12-year-old is in contact with her dad. I guess they were talking or texting to each other, one or the other. And he never said, well, look, I haven't seen you in 2 months.
Right.
Yeah,
And family,
Yates' other
same with family. Well, I wonder how such and such doing with the girls. Let me go take them out or pick them up and go see them.
Right. Grandmom, auntie.
Right. You know what I mean?
And like when a aunt would like take her kids to let's just say the zoo, she'll want to take everybody's kids,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody did. Like they just left the 12-year-old just defending for herself, huh?
Yeah.
children were safe with relatives while she prepares to head back home now.
We're waiting for her to be extradited back to Montgomery County, and then, of course, we'll be able to interview her and find out her side of the story, and we'll go from there.
If convicted, she could spend 20 years.
Look at that body there.
Man, talking about her side of the story. She left kids for 2 months. Ain't no reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Behind bars and away from social media attention. In Montgomery County, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Now, let me see what they say about the police said the 12-year-old was able to serve discipline, procure food by regularly asking her father to order takeout under the guise that Yates was tied up at work. So the 12-year-old was calling her father and telling her, like, yeah, can you order some pizza? Because my mom ain't home right now. So the mom ain't home and you got a 12-year-old by herself and the father ain't never came and got that kid? Went around there and seen
now I can see one time if you call and say, well, mommy ain't get home yet. First off, I wouldn't even leave a 12-year-old by herself for more than 4 hours.
Right.
So let's just say if it's early enough around, after school and she's hungry and you say something like, okay, boom. But it's not the next day too, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. It was not until family members spotted Yates in Mobile in November that they alerted her daughter's father. So the family members was like, damn, well, what's she doing here? Well, where the kids at?
Mm-hmm.
Police got a call from a man on November the 14th reporting that his daughter and her youngest brother had been home alone for nearly 2 months with limited access to food and medicine.
The 12-year-old dad finally got some sense.
Right. The father, who lived and worked in California, traveled to Texas and met cops at the house where the children were living on their own. So you finally decided to go to Texas, huh? But you had ample time to like, well, damn, that don't sound right.
Yep.
There was no food on the shelves or in the fridge, but the brother and the sister were healthy, so they were eating, but there wasn't no food in the fridge because
I read somewhere where they said it was beans and crackers the only thing in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our fathers got to start getting full custody of these kids. At least just try.
Mm-hmm. But she's not going to do no serious time. She's going to get slapped on the wrist and get right back out there doing what she do.
Right.
Talking about she got over 100,000 followers on social media and all this shit.
Yeah, they got to start back getting get custody of these kids, because okay, like you said, I can see the first time, like, yeah, look, mommy ain't here, can you order us a pizza? No,
now that's early. If it's after 9 o'clock or something like that, I'm like, hold up. But if it's like, I don't know, 5 o'clock or something like that and she hungry, and I say, all right, well, let me order him something since the mom's tripping, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time I'm still trying to get in touch with her, like, yo, what's up? The kid's calling me asking for food. You know I'm paying child support. You supposed to take care of that.
Right. so you wouldn't give you wouldn't buy the kids food because you said that you already paying for child.
No, I said I would the first time. But I'd be calling her to let her know, like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Like, why are these kids calling me and they hungry?
Right.
So it ain't gonna be no second time in 2 months and she's still calling me to eat. I'd have been went over there and see what was up. But I wouldn't have went no 2 months anyway, regardless on if she was eating or not. You ain't see a kid in 2 months.
Right. Yeah, no. But then he called the cops, but then travels from California to Texas to go meet the cops when you had an easily chance to go
Right.
up there and see what was up anyway.
The second time she called, asked for some food, he should have got his ass out there.
Right. Well, a little bit of sport.
Before you move on, you know the last story about the the kidnappings in Mexico. You never mentioned about her husband. Now, was that just bullshit on the internet, or was that true?
Well, that's what they said, that he was. Well, it was the internet, so you just never know. But they say that he was in jail. He just got
Big time
sentenced for
drug
10
dealer. Yeah,
years.
big time drug dealer that just got locked up for 10 years for having all this weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the pictures, and that was their names, and that was her. So I don't know if it's true or what. But if it's not true, then why? I mean, either or. Why is nobody mentioning that? You know what I mean?
They try to cute it up. They don't want to talk about all these convictions that all these people have, and they never mention about the drugs found in the kid's hair.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yeah, they're just trying to make it seem like she's an angel and shit. And I did
Right.
see on GoFundMe the one guy that got killed. His sister put up a GoFundMe for 30,000.
And how much did she get?
Like 6,000 right now.
Okay. Right.
I
Right.
didn't read the whole thing, but it was like, I'm the sister of Lavelle, whatever his name was, and I just stopped reading it after that.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the sports front, real quick, your boy Brandon Graham will remain the Philadelphia Eagles for 1 year with a $6 million deal. I give him props for doing that.
Right, because he wasn't caring about the money. He loved the city. He wanted to stay here, so that's cool.
Right.
And if he get 10 sacks and more, and he want to play again, I'll sign him again to another 1 year deal.
Exactly. For
Because it
more
don't
than
hurt.
6.
It's not hurting your pockets, and you're getting you know what I mean, on the back, and you're getting what I'm saying, not it's stats, but it's not stats. It's production. You're getting production from him still at a high level.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so our boy Jimmy Kemsky has 3 free agents that make sense for the Eagles. Now I'll read the 3 names and you say yes or no. The first one is Marcus Mariota, quarterback. He was released by the Falcons, 6'4", 220 pounds.
Who's our backup?
Well, he's a free agent. Minshew.
Is he still Minshew still under contract, right?
No, he's I don't know if they're going to release him or is he a free agent?
If I'm keeping Minshew, then no to Mariota. If I'm letting Minshew go, then I'll sign Mariota.
Right, because I think that either the Eagles are going to release him or he's a free agent. Minshew, I'm talking about.
Right.
All right. So you said if Minshew leaves, then yeah, but if he stayed, then no.
Right.
Okay. The next one is David Montgomery, running back for the Chicago Bears, 5'11", 224 pounds.
No. I'd rather keep who we got.
Miles Sanders is gone.
Yeah, I'd rather keep who we got.
Even with Miles Sanders?
Miles Sanders ain't signed nowhere yet.
No, but they're not going to sign him.
I already know they're not.
Yeah.
But shit, I ain't think they was going to sign Brandon Graham either. So maybe if he say, well, look, I'll stay here for blankety blank, maybe they say, all right. He got to be under his value though, and this is his first big contract, so I don't see why he would do that.
Right.
We're gonna be fucked up next year.
I don't think so.
Now I text you earlier that we're losing our 3 starting secondary.
Right.
So shit, we're gonna start with a whole new defensive coordinator and bums back there in the secondary. Because our number 1 and number 2 cornerback last year. Throughout the season, they was ranked number 1 and number 2 in the league. They was tearing it up.
Well, Slay said that he didn't request a trade. I'm thinking on the Eagle side, it's like, all right, if there's something good out there, we'll take it. That's not saying that he won't be here next year.
Well, the thing is, a lot of those defensive coordinators, they like that coach and they wanted him to be the defensive coordinator. And then they talking about he walked away. No, he got fired. And a lot of players didn't like that he got fired.
Right.
Like Garner Johnson, he was tied in the league in interception, and he missed like 5 or 6 games.
Right.
You gonna let all 3 of them guys go? That's crazy to me.
Speaking of secondary, last but not least is Jimmy Ward, safety for the 49ers, 5'11", 195 pounds.
If I can't keep Garner Johnson, then I'll take him, sure.
Okay. All right. That was a little bit of sports talk. Now on to the television. Did you watch BMF?
What about the Sixers? They kicking ass. You ain't got no rap about the Sixers?
No, because it's paper stuff. They
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'll say this. Harden is playing pretty good. He's getting a lot of assists, and that's what I like from my point guard. Man, Mike just had this argument because I said out of the top 10 leading scorers in the NBA, I think it was the top 15 scorers. It was like 9 of them was point guards. I said I don't like that. Point guards need to distribute and get other people the ball. Yeah, I want them to be able to shoot when they have to, but they need to get everybody else involved. That's the way offense is supposed to flow. So this year, Harden, he's averaging, I don't know what he averaging, like 22 points or something like that, 19 or whatever, but he's getting a lot of assists. He's leading the league in assists, and that's what I like. And I don't know what to say about Embiid. Embiid is a monster. They talking about he's the best Sixer that they ever seen, people calling in on the radio, and they talking about he overtook Iverson. But my thing is, in the last like 5 games, he didn't even get 10 rebounds. He got 5, he got 7, he got 6. Okay, he's scoring, but damn, grab some boards. I guarantee you right now, if he was leading the league in rebounding and scoring, he would win MVP. But he's so focused on scoring and not grabbing rebounds or blocking shots.
Well, can you say that if Djokovic is still averaging a triple-double, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, can you still say Embiid will be the MVP if he was leading the league in rebounds, and Djokovic has scoring, but Djokovic is averaging a triple-double.
Yeah, but people don't look at the point guard from a assist like that from the point guard. So if this big man is probably, if you leading the league in rebounding and you like 1 or 2 on blocks, it's a good chance you're probably gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. So you want to be heard in that. And Jokic don't play no defense, but he's an offense. He's great on the offensive end, setting people up and all that shit. But Jokic is averaging more rebounds than him, more assists than him. They're about to tie with blocks, I think, with like 1 block a game. Like Embiid should be a monster. He should be getting 12 rebounds. He should be getting 2 to 3 blocks a game, not no 1 block. You got Dwayne Wade and little guys like that was getting 1 block.
Right. Well, he's the biggest guy on the court. He should be averaging. He should be averaging 10.
Right.
10, 11.
That's where he at 10 right now. But I think in the last 5 or 6 games he hasn't had 10. He had 6 and 5 and all this type of shit. 7.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if he was he's leading the league in scoring. If he was leading the league or 1 and 2, that's why I think Giannis should be MVP.
Even though he's hurt, is he back or is he still hurt?
I don't think he's back yet, but he didn't miss a lot of games, so we'll see. Like, you know what I mean? But I think he should be the front runner right now. And B, he's always gonna be like that almost guy because he's not doing enough. When he played like a beast, and they were talking about it on the radio, any night he can get 18 rebounds. Bullshit, because he don't play it. He don't play hard on the glass like that every night. If he can get 18 rebounds any given night, he wouldn't have a whole game where he got 5 or 6 rebounds. He played the whole game and you got 5 rebounds. Get the hell out of here with that.
Well, I think that all this shit is null and void because they'll probably lose in the first and second round in the playoffs anyway.
Probably, and then Harden probably bounce because there's already rumors out there that he want to go back to his hometown.
Right, and what your coach is going to, by the way.
Yeah, if we go out in the second round, we're gonna lose the coach. It's crazy that Tobias Harris is the highest paid athlete in Philly. My man getting 5 and 6 points a night, and he getting $42 million a year.
Right, and can't move him because that contract is too big.
Yeah, don't nobody want that.
Right, unless you buy him out. One or the other.
Yeah, but why would he take it? Because he ain't gonna get that nowhere else. I wouldn't understand these athletes that take buyouts like that. The only way I would take a buyout if I'm still at the top of my game and I want to play somewhere else. That way I can take a buyout. I ain't worried about the money because I'm gonna get the money anyway, or already got the money. You know what I mean? But you know this is your last big contract. Ain't no buyout. You got to pay me. Do me like y'all do John Wall. Let me sit on the bench and not even show up and just have my check ready.
Oh yeah, speaking of sports, what you think about the slap fight finale?
Oh, I loved it. Because I put Mike onto it a couple of days ago, and he was loving it. So then I called him and was like, "Yo, you watching?" Like, "Oh man, I forgot." And he like found it. And he was watching it, but he like what's the white guy that be slapping the shit out of people? A lightweight,
the one with the red hair.
Yeah, that's what Mike like, and I like AJ.
AJ, describe AJ.
He's the I guess he would be like a Native American. He got
the one the heavy metal dude, the heavy metal guy.
Ride the skateboard with the helmet.
Yeah.
I like that's what I like.
And when the big guy slapped him, and I was like, oh shit, he done. My
Oh
man
yeah, he
just
was
came
fucked up,
back.
wasn't he?
Oh, he was supposed to be the favorite, the mechanic. I don't know his
Oh
name.
yeah, well, because the mechanic ain't never get slapped before. He, for some reason, he always win a coin toss, and then he slapped the shit out of people when they go out. So his chin was never tested.
Yep.
AJ chin was tested before. But AJ be slapping the shit out of people when he dropped the mechanic like that, and then he rolled back over on his head. I said, "This is a wrap."
Yep. And all our blacks, boy, they talk a lot of shit,
don't they?
But they never, especially the bald headed one, the
Now,
one that
the
he's a
bald-headed
mixed
one, I
martial
think-
artist, right?
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
he did that shit on purpose. I think he knew he couldn't beat the guy, so he's just gonna be slapping the shit out of him and taking the penalties, and then rolling when the dude ready to slap him, so he can't take a full force of the hit. So he'll roll every time the guy try to smack him. So now my man face all busted up on the technicality and shit. I'd have punched him right in his jaw and say, "Take a point from me for that." Because y'all keep taking a point for him and he keep rolling. I can't even get a good hit on him. He fucking me up every time he get a chance.
And then our boy, the most hated guy in the house, he went out last night.
You talking about Pissy?
What, he pissed on himself?
Yeah. The most hated guy is the one he pissed.
Oh yeah, he pissed in the bed.
He got all drunk
right?
and pissed all over the bed. So he put the bed outside, and then the new guy came in. They said, "He on your bed right there. His bed is the pissy joint outside." Oh, that shit was funny.
So it sounds like you enjoyed your time looking at the slap fight
I
for
sure
now.
did. 'Cause I can't believe these idiots, man. They want to get the shit slapped out of them for a living.
And then go ahead.
I was gonna say, like my man, the mechanic. He got 2 farms and he's a mechanic. Like he's making good money. Why would you put yourself through this shit? Some of these other people is broke as shit. Like my man said, I never won anything in my life. This is the first time I ever won anything. The redhead bull.
Yeah, I know who you talking about. And then our other brother, they gave our other brother shot after shot, and he never come through. The one with the dreadlocks, his damn hands. You see how large his hands?
Oh
is?
yeah, but he don't know how to use them right because he was
Right.
slapping the shit out of people, but he can't take a slap. And he came, and I knew he was gonna lose. 'Cause when they introduced the other guy, he like boo boo doing all this. Then he yelling World Star, yeah, World Star, all right.
Yeah.
He said when he got the shit slapped out of him, it was like instantly. It was like 250,000 tweets on Instagram about him. It's like, yeah, you want to talk that shit now? You fucking the other side of World Star.
So your boy Dana White said next season is going to be like the world versus the guys that won the belts this
So
season.
they're gonna bring in the other people from around the world.
Yeah, he said that they're going to do it in Abu Dhabi, and they're going to bring in people from Russia,
Yeah, because I know they was
Asia.
doing that. I know they was doing that before us in other countries. We all late to the game.
And I guess the winner out of all of them will face the belt holders of this season. But one negative thing I could say about this slap fight, them are some shitty ass belts. Those belts are shitty looking. They got to do a better job with better.
They
with better
okay.
belts.
They could be more detailed to it. It's plain. I wouldn't say shitty, but it's plain.
Right.
My thing about it is they need judges to watch feet because sometimes they let them lift their feet, then other times they don't. Like you can't go back and forth. Half these guys are getting their head knocked off because people pivoting off their foot and you're not calling it. Then other times they lift it all the way up. You do call it. Then they lift it halfway. Sometimes you call it, sometimes you don't. And then I don't like when you flinch and you get the shit slapped out of you, they get to slap you again. I don't like that. If you flinch, you should lose like a half a point, and that should be that. Now it's the other person's turn to hit you.
Right.
You shouldn't get to slap the shit out of somebody right after you just slapped them because they flinch.
Well, a lot of them were flinching. What about the guy that I forget who he was going against? He was like slapping him, but he was like moving at the same time.
Right. He won
like,
his fight. He flinched both his joints, then was talking shit.
Right. I'm like, you don't see he's like blatantly flinching, but
So
they didn't call it.
They need to do something better with the judges. Get more referees or more eyes on their feet, more eyes on the flinching and shit like that.
Right.
You can't have people flinching, getting slapped, and not calling it, and then they slapping the shit out of people.
All right, y'all. You can reach the Judgementals on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at pnljudgementals. Instagram, _Judgementals. Or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. Sorry, Phil.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Hold up, woke that whoa, hold the phone. You think all I do is rap? I can do it on my own. That's why I produce the track. Don't wonder where my crew is at. They'll be back. Niggas see me walking on the block and look like who.